Hey guys, welcome to another Cigar Chat brought to you live on CigarFederation.com. Broadcast around the world, the Armed Forces Radio Network. Robbie Raz from Cigar Federation here with you guys as always. We are multinational today. We're representing the United States. We've got India, we've got the Dominican, and we've got the Great White North in Canada. Everybody's here. I'm just going to go down the list. Logan, you're here as always too.
I hate you.
Just for reference, it is what, 5:30 in the morning in India right now.
5:30 in the morning. I'm not unjet lagged. And
wait, you're not unjet lagged?
No, man.
So you are jet lagged then?
No, yeah. Like I'm still waking up at 2 in the morning, like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed after sleeping for like 3 hours. And then I tried to upgrade to business class back, and British Airways screwed it all up. So
you have to sit with the commoners?
Someone's gonna get choked out.
Oh man, you got to sit with the common folk.
So
how's the tea? Tea's good.
Tea is delicious.
It's good.
That's about the only good thing in my life right now, really.
That makes me feel good. So we've also got. We weren't sure if Logan was going to be here today, so we had ready to fill in at a moment's notice. Cigar surgeon John from Canada was up there and decided to join us as well. John, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad to be on the show. I think of myself as like Logan 1.5, you know? All of the attitude, none of the cussing, and all of the smiles.
So you're just like a really polite version of Logan. I love it.
Yeah, I'm essentially, if Logan had gone to prep school and his parents had beat him more, I might be Logan. I mean, I am in Alberta. Alberta is the Texas North, so,
that is true.
Cousins somehow.
That is genius. I love it. Well, John, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And the guest of the hour is one of our personal favorites, Jose Blanco, joining us live from Dominican Republic. Jose, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it. We know you are a very busy man. How's everything going, man?
Everything is good. I'm just looking at Logan. That 5 o'clock in the morning. Don't know what he's going to have for breakfast. Can't smoke a cigar. Doesn't have coffee. I mean, for me, he's a survivor.
Well, let's. When you're looking at Logan right now, and we can actually see him. If you're listening to us on the radio or checking out the podcast, I'm going to try to give you a visual of what Logan looks like right now. And then the way Jose described it is about right. Logan looks like rock bottom right now. And that is
Unabomber with a slightly smaller beard.
You're about as bad as it gets right now.
Yeah, but at least I got my tea.
But you got your tea. But no, that's great. Like I said, we're all over the globe tonight. So, Jose, we haven't had you on in a while, and you've got, you're launching a new brand. We've got so much stuff to talk about. We've got some giveaways to get to later. But let's kind of catch everybody up with. The last year or so of your life. I know you've been running all over the place. You've been busy.
Well, we've been working since September at Tabacalera Palma with my cousin Pochi, first cousin, which makes the aging room. They had a fantastic year with the #2 cigar of the year, and it's an amazing smoke. And Hochi, for many years, has been one of the biggest tobacco growers in DR. He has 4 of his own farms, plus tobaccos that he also buys. And, his father, my uncle, and our grandfather and our great-grandfather, within the tobacco business. So, it runs through our veins. So, just being able to go to Tabacalera Palma and have the opportunity to pick cigars that from the farm they come, tobaccos that we're using on Señorial that are 2009, 2010, a little bit of 2011. Being able to, we got a great binder from Esteli that Hochi had there for a while, and then some great Habano Ecuador wrapper, and after 7 months and around 30 plus blends. We came up with a great blend. I think, to be honest, it's probably the best blend I've ever made. By far, it's the strongest blend I've ever made. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, the flavor is 10. You know, I like to work flavor over all things, and then it's around 8.5, depending on the size. It has a bit of spice, it has a lot of sweetness to it, a great aroma, long finish. A cigar that's going to give you total stimulation through the mouth. And to be honest, it's a cigar that is really for smokers. I mean, don't get me wrong. A person that really, you know, retrohales and can, you know, smoke a cigar the way a cigar should really be, smoke it slow, great state of mind, is gonna have a fantastic time with this smoke. That the people that I've given to, people that are hardcore smokers and people that are smokers and not, we've gotten a tremendous feedback. Just to give you an example, we're making our first shipment this week. It's around 35,000 cigars. Out of that, there's 26, 27 till today sold. And people have ordered the cigar. They haven't seen the box. They didn't see the band. They didn't smoke a sample because there was nothing out there. So to me, it's been very, very good that I'm on my own project to come out with a cigar, and people have ordered 10, 20, 30. I mean, events we're doing it in New York, everybody ordered 75 and 50 boxes. I mean, it gives me tremendous pleasure. Also, anybody who has seen the box, I have to give credit to Emma. I mean, I suck at that. But the box, the concept, the marketing, what she's done, the positioning of the brand, handling everything with care, I give her all the credit. And, you know, writing, I'm good at blending and smoking and teaching people, but writing, I'm not good at that. She's good at that.
Yeah, that's, you got to give credit where credit is due. We've got a ton of questions here, and this one ties right in. This one's from Thomas. He says, where did you get the inspiration? You touched on this a little bit, but maybe you can go into a little more detail. For the brand and the name and the artwork for Sin Real.
To be honest, again, Emma gets all the credit for that, because what we had for a long time been talking about name and name and name and name, and everybody knows that names right now are very hard. I mean, you've seen people, you know, going on lawsuits and this and that about names, and we, to be honest, had gone looking at the names for one day. We knew we would eventually have a project. And after I exhausted myself, and I said I just can't do it. And you know, she's speaks so many languages, so she started looking at this and reading here and reading that, and she stumbled with the word señorial. That means lordly, but it's really it's like the company. It's our heights of where we are. And then what we found was a very old street in the colonial zone in Dominican Republic. Her stepmother, which is a painter in Bulgaria, we sent her the artwork, and then she worked on it. Then we sent her the photo, and then she did a painting of it. And then Emma worked with the people of Cigar Rings that did a great job with the band, and then the way we want to position the company. Like I've stated, we're especially going to work with brick and mortar. We're not going to do internet. I've always been a big supporter of the brick and mortar. I think that we need to help out the stores. But it was basically that. I mean, I'm not gonna take credit. I mean, I have to give her the credit, and I don't give the credit, she's gonna kill me too.
Okay, so for now, I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's Señorial, correct?
Señorial, yes.
Okay.
Meow. There you go.
Meow?
Yes, meow. Your meow.
Something funny, meow?
So how'd you meet Emma?
Oh,
How'd you meet Emma?
Well, that's a long story. You know, Emma's father used to be one of the heads of Swedish Match, and Emma was the marketing and sales manager for premium cigars for Swedish Match from Russia all the way down to Macedonia. So on one of her trips to bringing, you know, customers and bringing people from the press to General and to La Aurora, you know, we met, and then I would see her at Pro Cigar, we danced, then I would see her in Dortmund, we would talk, and then one thing led to another, and then we have Jasper, now we have Señorial, we have Las Cumbres Tabaco, so it's a lot going on. He's a lighter.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I just want to give you props. 'Cause she's quite a bit younger, isn't she?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good on
Young and beautiful.
It was very cool. Yeah.
I thought we were going to talk about cigars.
Hey, I'm just giving you props, man, to 3.2 million people.
We're getting down to the crux of the real matters here, Jose. I mean, this is the stuff that people want to know about. TMZ is a big deal, man.
So that's enough of Jose being a pimp. All right, moving on.
So let's we'll get back to cigars a little bit with the Señor Real. Can you tell us a little bit about the blend? I mean, you mentioned that it's full flavor. It's definitely stronger than anything that you've blended. I mean, the way you described it, it sounded like a medium plus in strength. Give us a little bit of info on the blend.
Okay, like I said, when we started going to Tabacalera Palma, because Hochi has that huge inventory of tobacco, we had the opportunity to really look at what we wanted. So, you know, we started going through crops. This was this was that. And I've always been a fan of Piloto Cubano, but true Piloto Cubano, because unfortunately a lot of people say, well, we sell Piloto Cubano, we use Piloto Cubano, but there's very few companies that really use true Piloto Cubano. So we found Piloto Cubano, which characteristic is very aromatic, has a lot of sweetness to it, but it has a lot of flavors. Then we had this Dominican Corojo to it. So basically, the blend is with Dominican Corojo and with true Piloto Cubano. Like I said, a Viso from Esteli, and then we have Habano Ecuador, that everybody knows that, you know, it's earthy, it's spicy, it's very flavorful. And if you really know how to work on the blend, you're going to come up with something that is very good. You guys know that there's 5, 6, 7 brands out there that use Habano Ecuador that they have worked very well and have been very, very successful.
Huh. I was talking and I was muted. It's such a rookie mistake. And I could have just let it go, but I owned up to it. You know, I owned it. I make a mistake and I own it. So we've only got a few minutes here before our first break. So let me just jump into one of these questions. This is in regards to blending. This is from CRA James. He says, in regards to into the blend and blends that you might have been working on for the future or this project. So are you looking to stay within a specific flavor profile across all sizes, or do you expand that portfolio with different tastes for different palates? And you know what? With that noise, we're going to go ahead and we'll get into that question, and I'll read it much better on the other side of this break.
You want me to answer now, or?
No, what I'm going to do, because I was just so horrible the way that I read that, I'm just going to go in and delete it. So hold on, Logan, start the next timer right now. Okay, guys, welcome back to Cigar Chat. We're here with Jose Blanco, talking about all the new and exciting things going on with him. We've got Logan in India. We've got John in Canada. We're going to make John speak up here in a minute. Logan, this segment brought to us by who?
Amadors.com. Check them out. Back to you, Rob.
Said that with feeling. Amadors, you guys have heard us talk about Amadors. They take used ammo canisters, repurpose them into travel humidors. You can beat the hell out of these things. Logan likes to say they're rough and tugged.
Rough and tugged, rough.
No, these things are pretty sweet. We've got some Cigar Federation branded ones. Yes, that means they just have a Cigar Federation sticker on them, and they're in the store right now. You guys can check those out, store.cigarfederation.com. So, John, I know you got some questions. Why don't you jump in and get some questions for Jose?
Yeah, we're gonna start working through the questions, Jose. We got a lot of them, and I think there's a really good one here from Jason, and he wants to know about the blending process. Do you have a set vitola that you like to start with when you're working on the blending process, or is that something that evolves as you're working on it?
No. I basically start off depending on what I'm looking for the blend and the wrappers that I'm working with. It'll be probably a Corona Go 5.5 by 46 in the Robusto. And it is an interesting question because, there's a lot of brands that you smoke them in a couple of sizes, and, they're very good, but then you smoke them in the bigger ring gauges, and the brand is still good, but you notice that something is missing. What people don't realize is that when you're blending, you have to, and you're doing like 5 sizes, you cannot just blend one size, use the same proportion, and build everything up. You have to adjust a lot of things. You have to adjust the ligeros, the visos, even sometimes the type of binder that you're using. Because remember, we've talked about that, and anybody who's been in any one of my seminars have seen that people have a lot of misconceptions. People think that the bigger the ring gauge, the more flavor and the more strength, and it's not true. And I tell people, if you want to know if what I'm saying is true or not, buy a brand that has a Lancero or a Corona 5.5 by 42, smoke it, first cigar of the day, then buy that same cigar in a 6 by 60 and smoke it again, and tell me if the same flavor, the same notes, the same strength, you're picking it up in the same proportion as you would be smoking the smaller ring gauge. So the thing is that it took us more than 7 months because we had to really adjust the 6 by 60, the Legrand. The Toro was not so hard, or the Belicoso 6.5 by 52. But that 6 by 60, you really have to work to really, when somebody buys it that likes that big ring gauge, that he's going to pick up the strength, the complexity, the balance, that he's going to be able to pick the sweet nose, the spice, or whatever the person is picking up. Remember, and I say this, I don't know how many times a day on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything. First thing a consumer has to understand is taste is subjective.
Absolutely. I think everyone here agrees, since
No, that's not true.
Logan and I have similar tastes, and Rob is off in La La Land with
You
his
want my
taste,
shirt?
so-
I'll go get my shirt and prove it. I have a shirt that says Tobacco Jesus. That means it's true.
So I want to jump in real quick because the question that I butchered before the break is actually a pretty decent follow-up to this. And CRA James, I know you are here, and you gave me crap for tearing up your question, so I'm actually going to reread it. And so we're talking about the blend across different sizes, and like you mentioned, sometimes the biggest ring gauges, people think those are the strongest, but not necessarily the case. When you're blending your cigar, and you've got a Corona and a Robusto and a Toro and a 6 by 60, are you blending those so that the taste and flavors are uniform throughout the line, or do you just kind of roll with it and see maybe this one's going to be a little bit stronger in this size and that kind of thing?
No, to be honest, that's why it took us a little bit longer, because we tried to get the blends as close as possible. And to be honest, in my humble opinion, if anybody out there says that they have, I'll put it easy, 4 aligned with 4 sizes, and they taste identically the 4, I wish somebody could send me the 4 cigars for me to try, because that would be one of the biggest surprises in my life. There's always going to be a little bit of difference on certain things. What you do is you work hard, you work with especially with the rollers and the supervisors, to make sure that the proportion of the leaf that has to be built up as the size gets bigger will just make the blend as similar as possible. People say, what's the hardest size to make? Well, in my opinion, it's a Lancero, because you don't have that much room to make. I mean, that's without talking about the Adema Fino or maybe a Salmo. But on straight cigars, on parejos, in my personal opinion, the hardest cigar, not only to make, also to blend, is the Lancero. And
Now,
that's why.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's why my Lancero is not coming out now. It's something that I will be announcing in a couple of months. It's because it has taken us so much time to make it to the point that we really want to accomplish with this. And we've taken, actually, for the Lancero, the best rollers at the factory.
So so you're telling us that we're going to have a Lancero in the future. That's pretty awesome. When it comes to blending and rolling a cigar, you can go to different little events and you can learn a little bit about this, that, and the other thing as far as the sizing and everything. Now, why is the Lancero? I have a pretty good idea of why this is, but I want you to explain it to our listeners. Why is the Lancero so difficult to blend?
Need small hands.
Listen, one of the problems, and we see this on social media all the time, that a lot of people stay away from Lanceros. What is it? Hard drawers and plugged.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some companies that do excellent Lanceros, but there's been companies in the past that have come out with Lanceros with drawer problems. They canoe, they're tight, because again, when you take that filler in your hands, you have to position that. Whether you're working with let's say with a viso, if that is not centered right in the middle, and then when you're putting the seco next to it, you will have a burning problem with it. Plus, after you bunch it and then you put it in the mold, you have to be careful for the time you're going to press it. If you press it too long, if you press it not enough. So really making a Lancero, when I go to a factory and somebody gives me a Lancero and I light it up and I see that perfect draw, that tells me a lot. And I've been in a lot of places that I've not been fortunate for Lanceros.
Well, I think that leads really nicely into a good question here, which I have as well, Jose, from Dane, which is and this might be like picking a favorite child, but what is your favorite Vitola? What is your go-to?
Well, to be honest, it's been for the last couple of years. It's been basically Corona Gorda 4.5x46. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of big ring gauges, even though I smoke a 6x60 once in a while. The Toros, I love the Belicosos, but it's basically Corona, Lanceros, Corona Gorda, Robustos. And to be honest, I like better a Robusto it might find strange, but I like Robusto in the 52 size just as much as I like it on the 50 size, on the 50 ring gauge.
You're crazy, Jose. Crazy.
Yeah, I know that.
It's crazy.
Is that giving you an extra leaf to work with on the 52 versus the 50, or is that same number?
No, you're using a little bit more leaves, but we started, to be honest, we did the Robusto in the 50, then we did the 52, 5 1/4 by 52, and on that size, I don't know what happened. I think it just it smokes a little bit better on the 50 than it does on the 50. But one thing you have to, and I tell people this all the time, is state of mind. I always insist of state of mind. Like, you can have the car in the world, but if your state of mind, if you're not relaxed, if you're not really feeling good, the cigar's not going to work.
The worst place to smoke a cigar in the world, sitting next to the worst place in the world to smoke a cigar is sitting next to Logan.
That's not true.
I'm going to test that theory next week. I don't think that's true.
No, well, the best place to smoke a cigar is next to me because I bring the funny.
Do you know Jose's motto, right? He uses some terms in there that we can't use on the air.
Yeah,
so I was going with Logan as opposed to the other words that we can't use. It was a joke. It was a joke, and apparently it wasn't a very good one. But we'll move on.
Worst place to smoke a cigar, I'll tell you, is in the back of my driver's car in India, going 25 miles an hour at 110-degree weather with 80% humidity.
Oof.
And he won't turn on the air conditioning because he doesn't want to burn the gas.
That sounds like bad times.
It is
Bad
not
times.
good.
So, Jose, we're talking about vitolas and and the way that it impacts the flavor. With the Senor Real, how many or what are the initial vitolas that you're shipping? Because I know cigars are going to start shipping here pretty soon. So, what are the initial vitolas that you're
Corona Gorda 5.5 by 46, a Robusto 5.25 by 52, a Toro 6 by 54, or Torpedo, or what we call Señorial number 2, is 5 and 6.25 52, and Legrand 6 by 60. That's the initial 5 sizes. Then there's something in the works for a couple of months, but we're not talking a lot about it yet.
Well, you already let the cat out of the bag, or the Lancero out of the bag a little bit.
But the Lancero is has a lot of things to it. It's gonna be very special. But we're gonna leave.
We'll leave it at that. Okay, we won't push too hard. Logan, how much time do we got before the break? We're coming up, right?
I don't know. That's why they invented technology to do this stuff for us. 2 minutes.
Okay. Let me go down some of these questions here. Okay, this one's from Big Chunks. Another one of my favorite names here. He says, can't wait to try the Senor Real. He says, do you see doing a Maduro in the future? And also, are you going to be doing any blending seminars in the northern or southern California areas anytime soon?
California for sure. We don't know if it's going to be September and or September or October, November. It's one of those 3 months. We don't know yet. Yeah, blending seminars we will continue because first of all, I think that it's one of the things our industry needs the most. And every time I go to seminar, I have 40, 50 people there. I like when I ask everybody, what did you learn? Is the majority of people tell you, I thought I knew a lot about cigars, or I have a lot more to learn. It's like I said, I try to clarify the misconceptions that that people have. We talk about fermentation, we talk about the aging, we talk about the different seeds, we talk how the industry has evolved so much, and that is something maybe we can talk a little bit later on what the industry used to be, what type of wrappers that we had before the boom, and all the wrappers we have now. That people have been asking me a lot over that also.
What when you say you're going to do a seminar in California, where are you doing it?
Don't know yet. Have to talk with the guy I'm working. We're going to be working.
I've been bugging Roy over at Casa Bellicoso in Walnut Creek to get you to come out. So hopefully we can make that happen because I would love to be there. So the initial.
Hey. So when are you doing this blending seminar in Cigar Federation, Jose? When are we going to do this?
No hablo inglés.
Oh.
Mañana.
No, we're gonna talk about that. It's we already talked about it, and we're gonna make it happen.
That's all I need to hear, Jose.
There we go. Breaking news. We'll have at some point in the hopefully near future, we'll do one of Jose's blending seminars right here on CigarFederation.com, which will be pretty awesome. I think we're just about ready for a break, right? Yeah. So, guys, we will be right back after this break. Welcome back to Cigar Chat, brought to you live on CigarFederation.com. Broadcasts around the world, the Armed Forces Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are out there in the world, keeping us safe. We appreciate you guys and everything you're doing for us. We are out there in the world today. We've got somebody in India. Logan's in India. Jose Blanco, our guest, is in the Dominican, and John, the cigar surgeon, is in Canada. I am in sunny California. We're all over the place. Logan, you are so excited about this. Who is this next segment brought to us by?
262 Cigars.
This final segment's brought to you by the 262 Allegiance. We just added that to Cigar Federation store. Very limited. That's a brand new release from 262. Brazil Matafina wrapper on that one. So I'm curious to smoke that and see what that's about. But he says it's a mild to medium cigar, so I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going on. But we've got a few boxes of each Vitola, so check it out, store.cigarfederation.com. Okay, so we're here with our final segment. We've got about 15 minutes left. Jose, that initial question that we asked, do you see, it's so funny, we talk about this a lot. Your brand hasn't even come out yet, and we're already talking about what's coming out next, but do you see yourself working with any Maduro wrapper in the future?
To be honest, I've been working on, I've posted a couple of times on Instagram, also on Facebook. I'm working with a couple of different rappers, but to be honest, it's not at a point that I'm not satisfied with it. Something that I want to make something a little bit different, just not make a Maduro. One thing for sure is that we'll make a Maduro, a natural Maduro, and something that'll probably be, since Señorial is going to be full flavor, full body, this definitely will be full flavor, but it's probably going to be like around a little bit over medium, probably 6.5 around there for the people that like the medium body, a lot of sweetness. I love sweetness. I want some spice. I want to pick up some nice, like, dark chocolate notes to it. Nothing like blueberry muffins or almonds or things like that, but definitely something that people can describe easy.
It sounds like you're blending that cigar specifically for me, Jose, and I really do appreciate it.
On the topic of wrappers, since this has now become rapper talk, Jose,
and muffins.
And muffins, there's a really good question from Stefan here. I think it's Stefan or Stefan.
Stefan Lindbad.
Why do you think the Ecuadorian Habano wrapper is so special? What makes that wrapper so special?
Well, yeah, but we have to go back a little bit. If everybody remembers, the wrapper that used to be hot many years ago used to be Sumatra, Ecuador. But to be honest, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if they're going to have to try to find a different seed to grow there. But the Sumatra, Ecuador that I've seen from a lot of vendors is not even close of what it used to be. I think that Habano, Ecuador, and also Habano Vuelta Arriba, Vuelta HVA, yeah, Vuelta Arriba, which friends of La Aurora use a lot, especially for the Guillermo Leon, which I think it's a great cigar. The cigar has a lot of flavor, but also, how many great wrappers were out there that people started to grow, but they had burning problems. There was some wrappers that came out there, that went out for 10 years, and they had burning problems. And one of the things you want is a wrapper, and in a couple of years to be ready for you to use it. It's going to have a nice burn on it. It's going to have some nice flavors. But more than anything else, you have to. Habano Ecuador is a wrapper that harmonizes very well. But with that said, you really have to know what you're doing. Because when we started working with that in the beginning, we were using the types of tobaccos and looking at this, and then we have to make adjustments with the wrappers and that, because you have to understand that when you're making a blend, strength and flavors are fighting for a position in the blend. Well, sometimes you have two great tobaccos, you put them together and they just don't harmonize. You don't have the total stimulation, you don't have the complexity, you don't have the finish of the cigar. And it's funny, I always talk about finish because I see how many people, write and make comments of finish. Well, I smoked the whole cigar and it really had a great finish. I'm like, well, you know what, the finish, you're into an inch in the cigar and already you're going to know if it has a long finish, a short finish, if it doesn't have a finish, if it has an aftertaste. So that's why I always work a lot on the cigars, telling people about flavor, about strength, about aroma, about complexity, about the balance, about the finish, because these are the 6 elements that you need to make a perfect cigar.
It's that easy. We just need those 6 elements, and it's perfect. No, I like it. John, keep going. You got some good questions, bro.
There's a ton of questions here, actually.
I just put you on the spot, didn't I?
Yeah, you super did. The question from Mike Pouzin here. Mike Pouzin. I'm gonna say his name's Mike Pouzin. I don't know if it is. Jose, is there a lot of aspects of the blending when you work in a cigar that are debated? Like when you go into a blending session, is there a lot of debate back and forth when you're working on a project? How does that typically go for you?
Look, when you're working on a project, and you sit down with the 4 or 5 people that hardcore smokers. Of course, everybody's going to have a different opinion. But at the end of the day, if somebody says, well, you know, I like this blend, but I don't like this about it, and another person says the same thing, then you might like it. It's not like that, you know, you have the final word, because if all the manufacturers were to make cigars that they just like, you know, you guys wouldn't even been talking tonight, you know. One thing is, if you try to make a that everybody's gonna love, nobody winds up liking it. I mean, I don't think there's any brand in the world, and I don't care where it's made, that you can send it out to 100 people, give it to 100 smokers, and 100 smokers are going to like it. It's going to be debatable. Well, I don't like it because it's too strong. I don't like it because it lacks complexity. I don't like it because I don't like the aftertaste. There's so many attributes into smoking a cigar that people are never going to agree. Now, one thing is that when you make a great cigar and you make a consistent cigar and you have people smoking that cigar, you will have customers to it. Because I've been asked all over the world, if you're going to pick one word to define, and this applies, I would say, to every industry in the world, what would it be? And I tell them, actually, it's 3 words. It's consistency, consistency, and consistency. How many great brands have we seen up there, really rated very high, and you know, first year great, you know, that year and a half, you start a little bit different, and then in 2 or 3 years, you know, you can't even remember the brand. Why? Because they did not keep the consistency.
Which leads really nicely into a follow-up question from Mike, which is, how do you know when that blend is finished, Jose? Like, how do you say this is good, I'm happy with this? I mean, you put so much effort and work and love into that cigar. How do you know when it's done?
Okay, I'm gonna reveal something that everybody knows, that I worked in La Aurora for 30-something years. A couple of years in Hoya that was great too. You know, when you're working on a blend, you send it out to 8, 10 people, and when you're very close to the final blend, it comes down to the last 2 blends. Blend number 1, blend number 2. And when you send it out, you know, some of the times you send it to 12 people, 8 people say I like number 1, 4 people say I like number 2. But we send it out to 10 people that I trust them very much and have a good palate. So it was blend 1 and blend 2. And for the first time in all the years of work, those 10 people each picked blend number. So, I mean, the 10 of them couldn't be wrong.
That's, I mean, just from dealing with cigars from a standpoint of a consumer, and you know, with you know, writing reviews and things that we do. I mean, we do some reviews, and we'll do one of Senor Real where we have, you know, all 4 or 5 of us smoke it, and then we all write our notes and everything independent of each other. And it's rare that more than 2 people agree. So to say that all 10 of them picked the same one, either that's like, I don't know.
Must have been a freaking dog rocket.
Yeah.
It must have been terrible, Jose.
I know, but you want to know
I know.
That's funny. I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it.
You didn't want to say that.
But you want to know the funny thing about it? That the majority of them, not all of them, asked. It's not that we didn't like number 1. It's a good blend. It could be a regular blend for anybody. But we found that blend number 2 was more complete, was more balanced, was more round, and more rich would be the word. And I think the difference was that blend number 2 was more rich. It had more sweet notes to it. I mean, I know that there's people that would say, somebody who's making a blend, I said, hey, take that blend, and they would smoke it, and they would put it into production. But you understand, I've been smoking for 47 years. It's the first time that I'm making my blend. Everybody knows I'm picky, and the older you get, you're even more picky. But I had to come up with something that I was 100% sure of what it was.
Yeah, fair enough. And it sounds like you got that 100% that you were looking for. So, in kind of a follow-up to that, when you'd said, everybody smoked, cigar number one, they said it could be a regular blend for anybody, but cigar number two is so much better. That kind of prompted a question for me, and I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on all the different. You see a lot of brands that come out with, one particular core line, two particular core lines, and then a bunch of limited editions and, different variations and things like that. What are your thoughts on coming out with all these different limited edition lines that we're seeing?
A lot of retailers don't like it because if you don't have a good connection with the company, you hear all this hype about this cigar that came out. But at the end of the day, it's good for the consumer because how many limited editions come out there that you could say this is really, really, really memorable? Because the problem is that it's been a little bit overplayed, limited edition things. What really makes a cigar a limited edition? It has to be special tobaccos. It has to be unique tobaccos. Like we're doing very, very limited. It's because we found some tobaccos were 2007 and different things, and we can't say too much about it. That were very unique. I mean, I wish I could do a ton of it, but you'll be lying. I mean, everybody knows. I think I have a pretty good reputation with the consumers, with the store owners, with the people of the media. To me, it's I'm not a BS person. I'm not. I'm a straight shooter. So I mean, could I do a ton of it? And I know it's going to sell. Yes, but it's not going to be what I'm looking for. And I'm not going to get too much details because when the word comes out, why I'm doing and what is the motive of what I'm doing, then people will understand. I'm going to be very clear on it. It's like cigars. When you make, I'll give you an example. Puro Vintage 2003, made at La Aurora. That's probably one of the best Salomonas ever made. It got a rating of 94. And still people, this day, they talk and rave about that cigar. And the price tag on that cigar was $25. Wow. But the cigar was unique. The filler was 2003. Yes, everything was 2003. Filler, binder, and wrapper, everything. I don't know if any of you guys smoked it, but the cigar was phenomenal.
Okay, so you broke up there a little bit, so it sounds like you've got some limited edition stuff in the works because of so you found some tobaccos that you can only make a limited amount with. With that bing bing, it sounds like we are getting close to the end, so we're going to wrap up our broadcast here today. Jose, we appreciate you taking the time. And guys, I know we didn't get to a lot of the questions, but we'll get Jose back on again and get through some more of the questions next time. Jose, we appreciate you checking in with us. We're looking forward to Senor Real, and I still don't feel like I'm saying that right, when it comes out. And so that's actually going to be, people can start finding out in the stores when?
The 4 events, Cigar Inn, New Jersey. We'll have them the 6th and the 7th, and then starting the 9th, we will be shipping out
All right, so it's you broke up a little bit there at the end, but it sounded like you've got some events coming up on the early in June. So those are all going to be showing up in stores pretty soon, guys. So look for it. Jose, we appreciate you taking the time. Guys, thanks for checking out another Cigar Chat. We'll be back with you guys next week. We appreciate everything you guys are doing for us, and everybody stay safe.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be with you guys, even if Logan looks like I don't know what.
I don't like you, Jose, right now.
All right, yeah, Jose, I thought you locked up there a little bit at the end. We're fine. Okay, so that's the end of the Armed Forces segment. Guys, we're gonna get into that giveaway. We've got the autograph box of Senor Real to give away tonight. Logan's gonna pick his favorite person.
I just get to pick somebody.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's your world, man. You got up at 5:30, so you can do it however you want. So do you guys have any more questions for Jose before we wrap up and do this giveaway?
Yeah, I want to step in because I think Punch Nugget got overlooked here, and I think he's got a really good question. For
I'm not sure if Jose is frozen or not.
He's a mystery man. He's Jose. He looks like he's not moving.
I think
moving or he's thinking about it.
He's
like ninja style. Like
frozen.
He could be frozen. He could be thinking about his next blend. You don't know.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like he's. So let's do this giveaway real quick, and then hopefully Jose can get that figured out. He is like on the other side of the globe, so.
Yeah, he's in the same fucking hemisphere as you.
Well, you're actually on the other side of the globe.
I'm literally on the other side of the globe. All right, so for the giveaway, just let's make this shit simple. I need to go get breakfast. Fucking email me, Logan at Cigar Federation, with Señorial correctly spelled in the subject line with your full name and address, and then from that I'll pick a winner.
When you say correctly spelled, do we need the little tilde above the N there?
Hey, Rob,
Señorial, I'm hard.
I'm just being specific, man.
Hey, that's what I was waiting for.
Jose, you're back. You got.
I never left.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get the question in here while we got Jose.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like Punch got overlooked. Jose, you were with La Aurora for a lot of years. You were with Hoya de Nicaragua. You're on your own. Can you talk maybe briefly about what are some of the unique challenges of doing your own thing?
I think you froze up again. Yeah. So we'll. Oh, yeah, he dropped off and he's going to come back in. So let's see.
I'm here. I'm back.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Did that question come through for you?
I would just start again.
Yeah, start again.
All right. Jose, Punch had a really good question here. You're with La Aurora for a lot of years. You're with Hoya de Nicaragua for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You're on your own. You're doing your own thing. Can you talk maybe briefly about some of the unique challenges that you're facing as a part of doing your own thing?
Well, the challenge I'm facing is the challenge I think that everybody's facing. You know, a lot of competition, FDA, taxes, smoking bans. But I think that what really helps me a lot is what help. I'll give you an example. What helped Ernesto Perez Carrillo. I mean, Ernie worked all his life into cigars. He came out with his brand. Is doing great, and I think that's one of the things that really helped me out. Plus, I traveled a lot. I mean, I traveled since 1999 to last year. I mean, every state, all the great shops, did a lot of events. Pro Cigar was good. Then international, I traveled a lot from Macedonia, Serbia, Sweden. I was last year in Hong Kong, and a guy doing events. I've done events in blending seminars in Sweden, also in Mexico, in Argentina, Dominican Republic. I've done already like two or three of them here, and that's part that I like. I love the blending. I love to do the events. I love to educate. I get at least 10, 12 inbox questions every day from people, you know, asking a lot of direct messages on Twitter too, and I just love whatever knowledge I have to share with people. I've said it, the more knowledge the consumer and the store owner has, it makes our job much, much easier.
John, you got to follow up?
Or did you just can't get your tongue up there in Canada?
No, I'm overwhelmed at just thinking about his answer.
Another thing, I've done about 8 or 10 seminars in Canada too, and Canadians are crazy.
They're just like super polite.
They are super polite.
Yeah, we were talking.
Really?
We were talking pre-broadcast. Jose was saying he had the pleasure to go to Montreal and Quebec, which great places, and Toronto. Maybe not as good as Montreal and Quebec, but still okay.
I see it's not snowing in Canada anymore.
Well, it could be. I mean, maybe I've just got a fake backdrop here with sunlight and birds chirping, just to fool you guys.
Well, that's where the birds are coming from. I can hear the birds.
It's not
So
in time.
yeah, I don't know anything about Canada. So I know they got bacon up there, but I don't think their bacon's different.
Dude, they've got fucking poutine, man. That shit is the heater.
They got what?
Poutine? Fuck.
Poop cream?
Poutine,
No,
brother.
poutine.
All about
Poutine.
What's
I
that?
think.
Miracle food.
It's like French fries and gravy and cheese.
Cheese. It's not just regular cheese, though. It's cheese curds.
Man, we
And
gotta
French
get it.
fries and gravy and cheese curds?
Dude,
It's awesome.
go ahead, surgeon. It's your fucking meal. It's your
I-
people.
You know what? I could do a 45-minute segment on poutine. You know, you talk about pulled pork, pulled beef, like that.
Ooh, pulled
that'll
beef
change
doesn't
your life.
sound good.
You know? No, it'll change your life, man. It's amazing.
It sounds like I would get fat if I moved to Canada.
Well, you got to run a lot because our cities are really big. But
You have to
offsets the poutine.
you have to run? Like you have to chase these people down who are making the food, or what?
No. We just encourage physical activity. You know, we don't want to be fat. You know.
So you can eat this, but you have to run a mile after.
Yeah, you have to run a mile. It's part of the poutine challenge. You gotta go back. I'll tell you about the poutine challenge.
I don't know what the hell we're even talking about. Jose, we just wasted like 4 minutes of the time we had with you, and I apologize for that. I promised Jose we'd get him out of here in about an hour, so we've got a few minutes left. Logan, how are we doing with that? What's that?
No problem. I'm here.
He's here, man.
Logan, how are we doing on that giveaway?
There's a bunch of idiots that didn't put the tilde over the thing, and then there's a lot of people that spelled tilde T like tile. So I'm like excluding those people, dude. Like, and then like,
You don't have to spell out tilde. I mean, that's just what the little symbols
well, yeah,
spell.
they put it in like parentheses, like tilde.
Because they couldn't figure out how to do it on their
They
keyboard.
couldn't do it, and I said that doesn't count. Screw
Losers.
you, Steve.
Losers.
Talking about you. Sorry, dude. I would have totally picked you too, Harley, but you screwed it up. I don't know. I don't care. Who hasn't won in a while?
Well, let's look at the list of people who are here. Who hasn't won in a while? We have some good names. There's a particular person that I'm looking for, but I don't think he's here. I wanted to pick Shooter, but I don't think he's here.
No, Shooter's not. No.
He's not here. Then I don't know, man. We'll pick. I don't know. I don't know who some of these. I don't know. Hey, John, you're never on here. You pick somebody.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. Throw the Canadian under the bus.
Yeah, there you go. You can pick it and be really polite about it.
He's got it.
No, I'm not picking Dave Nichols because he fucking wins. I'm not picking Fat Kid either. I'm not picking Jay because he wins fucking everything.
Well, here, let's here. I'm gonna give you 3 names and then like pick one.
I know who to pick.
All right, go. Just pick it. Just get it over.
I'm picking him. I'm going for it. With proper spelling and from North Dakota, Jimmy Z. I don't think he's won in a while. He's a good
Jimmy Z.
Jimmy Z.
Big winner.
Soda.
Now,
Cool.
is there some stipulation of that he has to share with us? Like he has to.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to take, open up the box, of course, and then write my name on it, too, and then take a couple. That's how it
Well,
works.
it's actually what he doesn't know is it's an empty box. It's autographed, but it's going to be empty when he gets it.
It's going to be worth millions of dollars in 2 years. You don't even know.
Yeah, no, that's true. So let's we've got some more questions, but I think we're running up against some time here. So Jose, we're gonna let you go. I know Logan's got to go get breakfast and wake up and get some coffee and moons over my hammy and things like that. So Jose, we really do appreciate you taking the time. We'll hopefully be able to get a date nailed down to do a seminar here on Cigar Federation. That'd be great.
Yeah, we got.
Whoa.
We have to talk. We have to talk about that probably when I get back from the States. So Emma's gonna send the order tomorrow. You sent me an address where to send the box in the 2 bundles, right?
I think so. I don't know.
Send it to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll send it over to you. I don't know.
I'll email you right now, Jose.
Yeah, we'll email it to you. Send it over to Logan. Yeah, no, we appreciate it, and definitely we'll talk to you when you come in the States, and we'll see you at IPCPR.
I'll see you guys at the IPCPR. How's the federation, that association you guys doing, working?
That's a Logan question.
What? You mean the Cigar Media Association?
Yeah.
Just dropping the hammer on the bad apples. No, it's going good, man.
I know. That guy that wanted a motorcycle for himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
To be honest, I'm glad you guys responded to that because it was very, very professional, and it said a lot. And we've talked many, many times of why the bloggers or the media guys get a bad rap. How the hell you want to raise $16,000, take $13,000 for a fucking bike, and then you give back to the consumers $3,000? Did he stop with that?
Dude, I don't know.
I haven't followed up specifically. I looked at the initial contest and I thought it was a bit ridiculous. But then at the same time, my wife and I are working on buying a house. Maybe that's how I get the down payment.
Hey man, I need a fucking penis enlargement. Let's do that. Let's do that shit.
That's the best promotion ever. I love it.
My God, hell, people might say, I don't know, who knows? But whatever. Yeah. So no, Seth wrote that, not me, because mine would have not been as eloquent.
No, but it was very written, and I think it says a lot. And I think that the way you guys that are doing a great job have to protect yourselves, because look, you guys do a great job. Coop and those guys, Cigar Geeks, they do a great job too. So it's all at the end of the day about credibility. And since you guys have been so hot lately, you really have to be careful, even with what you sell, what you say, things that, because everybody has a lot of enemies in this industry, and there's a lot of jealousy and there's a lot of mediocre people trying to do what you guys do very well. So you really, really have to step up to the plate and let people understand that you guys are serious about about your business and about what you say. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. It's Cigar Aficionado, it's you guys, Seth, Charlie. Everybody has a company or a couple of companies they like more than the others. So if the cigar is maybe a 90, they'll give it a 91. Okay, a point helps. But at the end of the day, you could just not be talking all day about just one fucking brand. Because you know what happens? People look at it and say, well, you know what? What is it? What am I going to learn hearing to this guy or reading this guy's blog where he writes as a month and 9 are from this brand and 1 is from another brand which he crucifies it? I mean, it's a very delicate situation.